I was in the truck, which is exactly what I have been saying, which is what y'all have been lying about. How many of you have made videos saying that I wasn't in that truck, that you were sure I was in that house? Virgie G said that he was in that house, and so he knew for a fact that I was in that house. But now here you have the court transcript saying I was in the truck. I was in the motherfucking truck. No matter where I was mentally, my physical form was in a truck that was locked. So you can no longer continue accusing me of doing something that I did not do, because the murder happened inside the house. The murder was a physical act that happened inside the house while I was inside a truck. All of your accusations over the last 3 years that I was in that house have been proven to be lies. I was not in the house. I was in the truck, which is what I said and have been saying, and what you have been trying to make me unbelieve for 3 years. Virgie saying he was in the house was a clear attempt at witness tampering. Because if they were to go back, like, y'all are saying so hard, you're going to go back to trial. This is going to go back to trial. You're going to open this back to trial. Okay. I'm going to tell the detectives that Virgie G told me he was in that house. And what happens to the trial then? You witness tampering, lying motherfuckers. You knew I was not in the house because I told you I was not in the house. I was in the truck. I was locked in the truck because he told me that if I opened the door, the alarm would go off and he would catch me and he would kill me. You think you know what you know, but you have no fucking idea what it was like in the moment. Everything looks different in hindsight. Things were a lot different in the moment when they were happening. In the moment when I was asking to go back to my grandmother's and just be left at my grandmother's, and he pulled a knife on me and told me to stay in the truck, that he would take care of everything. But he wasn't going to take me back to my grandmother's. There were options. Y'all keep saying I caused this. He had so many fucking options, and one of them was to leave me at my grandmother's house where I was. But he didn't want to do that. He did not want to leave me with my grandmother. He did not want to let me go. He did not want me to have a life with anyone but him after he lied to me to get into my life. I have said from the beginning, I was in the truck and had no physical hand in what happened. Anything that I said, I might have said out of anger, I might have said out of delusion or psychosis, but the physical act was never me at any point. And y'all have lied and manipulated your audience to believe I caused the physical action of a man who could have just broken up with me and taken me back to my grandmother's. I was already at my grandmother's house that day. We were there with her for her birthday, and I asked him to just leave me there. So please explain to me why she had to die when I was trying desperately for him to leave me someplace else so that I could not be with him anymore. The clear facts of the case are, Kenneth McBride killed Roberta Laws. He did it because he didn't want to be with her anymore. He did it because he had gotten her pregnant and he did not want to raise a child with her. He would have done it whether I was involved in his life or not. The reason he had gone to Craigslist and lied to me was to find a woman who was also sick, who he could manipulate and take advantage of in the same way that he was manipulating her. He had intended to get me on the same kind of disabilities that she was on, the same government programs. I didn't make him lie to me. I didn't make him hold me captive. And yes, when we're in a moving vehicle and I tell him to stop and let me out, and he pulls out a knife and tells me that he will kill me if I open that door, that is holding somebody captive. Whether they said so at the trial or not, that happened. That fucking happened. And from that point, he was holding me captive because he had a knife and he told me that if I walked away from him, if I opened that door, if I left, he would kill me. I was not voluntarily with him from the moment we left my grandmother's house that day because I wanted to stay with my grandmother. And he wouldn't let me. He told me that if I didn't get in the truck and go with him, he would kill my grandmother. And then halfway home, I tried to jump out and he grabbed a knife and told me if I did that again, he would kill me. Y'all don't know what happened because you weren't there, and the police also weren't there, so not everything in the transcript is 100%. I've tried to explain that before. There's an entire separate part of the transcript that's never been seen because they took it out of the trial before it went to court. There's a whole thing on what he did to me because he confessed to pulling the knife on me. He confessed to threatening to kill me. He confessed to trying to kill me, to strangling me, to beating me. He confessed to all of that. And it was taken out because they weren't trying him for anything that he did to me. At least y'all can't continue saying I physically did this and was in the house anymore. Until it goes to trial again and Virgie G has to explain why he said he was in the house, y'all cannot continue saying I was in the house. Like you've said for 3 years now. You have now validated and proven that I was telling the truth. That I was in the truck.